All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. The first match in the Premier League, the preview. We're here. I mean, this is such an exciting moment. Another season, ladies and gentlemen, another season. I remember, Taron was there last season when we were doing the previews. Obviously, Taron came through midway through. And then, since then, we've just carried on with the previews. But it's a brand new season. Ishan is here as well. Ishan's been doing madness with me in regards to the Chelsea transfer news. You guys have been loving that. But we've got the boys together to do this preview. It's going to be very, very exciting. You can already see quite a few people joining in already. Smash the like button. We've hit 7,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to each and every one of you guys for constantly showing the support to this channel. Some of the comments I've been getting is so incredible. Do check out the community page where I've left a message saying you can win a jersey. I'm giving away a jersey because of this 7,000 milestone. So go out there, check out that community page, check out that particular post. And there's been some mad comments. I'm loving it. So thank you so much. I will do a shout out to you guys very, very soon. But first of all, Taron, my boy, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. Exciting to get into, I'll say, our first Premier League kind of preview for the season. Hopefully, hopefully more games live. Maybe a live preview very soon outside Stanford Bridge. I don't know.
All right, yes.
It's going to be a very exciting season. And yeah, I'm gassed.
Brilliant. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it directly from Taron, as you've already seen it a few matches back against Spurs. Taron and Jonathan, they were in the stadium, courtesy of the channel sponsoring the tickets for them. And it was a mad day that day. And we are going to be doing a lot more of that throughout this season, where Taron or anyone else might be going to the stadium. And as Taron said, we could probably do a preview, definitely do a review. So it'll be very exciting. Ishan, my boy, how you doing?
No, I'm good, miss. First of all, congratulations on your 7K. It's been a hell of a week, We've signed Romelu Lukaku, and although he's not going to feature the next game, but nevertheless, it's been a big day. It's been a big week and very exciting games coming up for Chelsea as well. So very, very excited. Yeah,
man, it's such a great feeling when the Premier League's starting. So I'm very excited about that. So you're absolutely right, Ishan, about the whole start of the Premier League. Massive shout out to all the people that have joined in. So if I please smash the like button, get those likes up. As I've always said, the likes are directly correlated to the growth of this channel. We don't stop at 7,000. We're going to chase the 8,000 now. We literally got the 7,000, the last 1,000 from 6,000 to 7,000 in like 2 weeks. So we're going to try and do that again, get to that 8,000. Massive shout out to you guys. Tumo, Declan in Ireland. Then we've got Sutasan here. Mohammed's here. Frederick, thank you so much. Big up. Pulisic, the GOAT, is here. Pratik is here. Arsibian is here. David Molapo is here. Kubina is here. Miko, it's just fantastic. Mohammed, so many people of you guys are logged in. As I said, smash the like button. We're going to get straight into this. We're going to first recap the press conference from Thomas Tuchel. I'll go to you, Taron. It's crazy. You know what really bothered me in that Thomas Tuchel press conference? No one really asked about the team news or Hakim Ziyech injury right till the end, when shout out to Olivia. She was the only one who was game enough to actually ask who's available for the match. Like the whole, press conference, they were all asking about Lukaku, which is fine. I get that. But you don't need 20 questions on Lukaku. And then they also started talking about Erling Haaland. And then obviously Thomas Tuchel was jokingly talking about Lewandowski and whatnot, which we'll get into. But first of all, we'll go with the Lukaku situation. Thomas Tuchel was asked about Lukaku and how he's been announced. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, he's been announced yesterday. If you're, I don't know, just living under the rock, you'd have no idea about that. It's been announced. I love how Thomas Tuchel, he's so precise about why Chelsea got Lukaku. He talks about we needed that type of a profile who can play, against the big, have his back against the defender, who's also got the explosive pace, who's got that ability, to take one-on-one situation as well. It seems like he's worked this out completely, and it's not it's not just by chance that Chelsea got Lukaku. They've really, really focused on the profile and the characteristic. And he hasn't shied away from the fact that, Chelsea was also going for Haaland. At the end of the day, they were both same sort of, similar characteristic. And at the end, we ended up getting Lukaku anyway. So what's your thoughts about him answering about Lukaku? I thought it was really, really smart the way he talks about it.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, our club's been criticised for, signing players from the board, players who are going to be long-term signings for the future, not really the managers kind of, because, we do swap managers quite a lot at this club, so it's been by the board. But the way it looks like is Thomas Tuchel has planned this out piece by piece. All of his attributes, from what he's saying, fit perfectly into what we have right now. His attitude, something that Tuchel mentioned a lot, his attitude, the fact that he knows the club well, he's played in the Premier League, he's not a selfish player, he is a team player. It's everything the fans want to hear. He's saying everything that it feels like we need right now. It doesn't seem like it was planned, like I said, by the board. It looks like him, Arnaut Michaels, and his other assistant have sat down and thought, we need one player who's going to play with his back to goal, one player who can do basically everything in that attack and make us fourth place, the first place. And they picked out Romelu Lukaku. So as a fan, listening to that and hearing your manager pick out these little details that maybe don't mean a lot to other people, but to us, it just feels like a breath of fresh air to have a manager who's picked out a player perfect for us. So I'm really happy he's talked about this. I know there was a lot of Lukaku questions, but I did want to hear a lot about why Thomas Tuchel, obviously, in the last press conference, he was saying, I can't say anything yet. So I wanted to hear from his kind of mouth why he wanted Lukaku. And it sounds like it could be a match made in heaven. Honestly, like Tuchel x Lukaku could be even better than Kante. And that's a massive statement.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, obviously, it's topical and he's been announced. So it was good to definitely hear from Thomas Tuchel directly about it. And then, as you said, he's so eloquent about the whole description as to why he got Lukaku. He knows very well what he wants to do with Lukaku, which is very, very interesting. Ishan, I want to ask you now the next question. They asked about, whether Chelsea are now title challengers with getting Lukaku. That was an issue last season, putting away the goals. Now getting Lukaku, are we title challengers? But I loved how Thomas Tuchel really answered that. He said, we need to calm down. We came fourth with the courtesy of another team helping us last season. So we do need to bridge the gap between Man City, Liverpool, and Man United. Let's not forget, Liverpool caught up to us and went in front of us on the last day last season. And then obviously another journalist did remember that, hey, didn't you say that you're going to hunt down Man City from day one? You said that last season. And he said, yeah, we will. But in regards to the whole title challenging thing, there's a big gap that we need to, cover. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the fan base knows, Ishan, that we are now ready to challenge for the title. But did you like the diplomatic approach that he was trying to keep the fan base a bit calm that, look, it is a big task. We do need to cover a big bit of ground against our rivals. What do you think about that?
Yes, this reaction was very, very important and very, very clever for Thomas Tuchel. We all as Chelsea fans know that, this year, it should be the year we should go for the title, absolutely, without any doubt. But the thing here is, Thomas Tuchel, gave a message that we all need to be realistic. We all need to keep our feet on the ground. We do not need to fly in the air, go on cloud nine. No, keep your feet on the ground, keep it very realistic. There are teams like United and City who have bolstered their squad and probably have one of the a few very best squads in Europe, not just Premier League. So yeah, his message was quite clear that, listen, we all have to be very, very realistic. We cannot go ahead of ourselves. Yes, we've got the missing piece that we've wanted right from a couple of seasons maybe. But then, yes, can we consider that we are title contenders? Yes, but then we should be very, very realistic that the competition is very high. The competition is very, very tough. And, it was important in the sense that when you right at the beginning of the season, you try to put a bar that, listen, we are the title contenders. That is something huge. Your expectations are raised virtually in your head. That means you cannot have any room for complacency. Even if the thing is, even if you have a small amount of mistakes in small games, people, gets disappointed really drastically.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why it was so important for Thomas Tuchel, to keep the situation, make the fans realize that think this situation realistically. Keep your feet on the ground. Do not have high hopes, championship hopes right from day one, because this Premier League is not easy. It's a competition with the whole year span, and there are 38 games, and there will be ups and downs for the whole season, and we need to go through that. Even Man City for the last season had a very bad start, and then they gradually shifted to be the champs they were the last season. So the thing is, there will be ups and downs, and the fans needs to have patience for that. If right from the beginning you start to claim that yes, we're gonna win, or yes, Man City, nothing for us, piece of cake. No, that does not happen. Imagine getting battered by Man City 4-0, 5-0. That absolutely shatter the fans, right?
And they'll keep playing that clip from Thomas Tuchel. Hey, you said that we're going to win the title. What's going on?
Exactly. So it's very important to keep your feet on the ground, be realistic, and have a cool and calm approach. Yes, we all know as Chelsea fans that the prime objective for this season is to win the Premier League. Even Roman Abramovich might have said that, listen, this is your number one target this time. We've given you Lukaku, breaking our banks, breaking our transfer record, giving you Lukaku, get me the Premier League. No questions asked. We all know that this is happening at the back doors, but still, Thomas Tuchel being the manager, he has to come out there and calm down the fans. So very good move by him.
Yeah, I like that response as well. Deep down, he's thinking, yeah, we are going to be going for the title. But I'm not going to obviously come out and say that. But deep down, he knows that's what he's preparing the team for. Taron, this comment is very, very good, because obviously we want to address this. Lukaku starts training today. No, he doesn't. He's actually isolating. This is exactly what Thomas Tuchel said. I believe he should be ready for the Arsenal game, which is next weekend. I mean, Taron, at the end of the day, this was the news that was sort of getting floating around in social media. What's happening with Romelu Lukaku and so on and so forth. It's great to hear from Thomas Tuchel coming out clean and just saying that, look, there's some quarantine issues. He's isolating at the moment. And yeah, of course, he probably won't be training. So we kind of expected that he wasn't going to be facing Crystal Palace, right?
I mean, you do hear a lot of different stories from different sources saying different things. For example, the Athletic say one thing, maybe Simon Phillips says a different thing. So you want to hear from the manager, who obviously decides everything, what the actual truth is. And it's good he cleared up. Obviously, we thought, was it a quarantine issue? Was it the fact that he's not registered in time? Now we know from, the horse's mouth, as the saying was saying, he said it. So we know for sure now. But, I'm really happy he's going to be back to the Arsenal game. He's going to be training from Monday onwards. He's going to have a whole week to prepare with the team, to train with his new players, to develop the connections, get his fitness back a little bit, and he will be ready. I feel like the Crystal Palace game would have been a little bit rushed, if that was fair to say. He's just arrived. He hasn't been playing a lot of preseason friendlies recently for Inter Milan. He hasn't had a lot of preseason training. So I'm really happy, especially for the magnitude of that game. Arsenal, I always want to beat Arsenal 100%. So for us to strike fear into them straight off the back, knowing he will be back for that derby, he'll be hungry. His first time back in 10 years, back at the club he loves. It's absolutely gas for that, and I'm really, really excited. I think the Crystal Palace game is winnable without Lukaku. So is the Arsenal game, but the fact that it's a London derby, all these kind of sentimental factors come into fruition, and it just like it's a kind of homecoming. Obviously, Stanford Bridge would have been a bit nicer, but the Emirates, I love players to go to the Emirates, destroy Arsenal, make the fans happy, and Lukaku, it's going to be absolutely great.
Yeah, man, 100, man. I mean, you're right. It would have been a bit rushed. We're happy to wait if it's just the one game, and hopefully we can annihilate Arsenal with Lukaku. Just quickly as well, Taron, are you at all bothered by the number? I don't know whether this is going to be fixed completely, but at the moment he's registered for number 18. Apparently that's a number that he first got when he first joined Chelsea. Tammy Abraham's still in the club, and we will talk about Tammy very, very soon. But I mean, I kind of expected him to get the number 9. Like, I feel like that's the iconic number. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's cursed." I don't really care. I mean, Lukaku was number 9 in Inter Milan. I believe, was he the number 9 in Man United as well? Did he have number 9?
He was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
he was.
So that's his number. But I mean, what's your feel about this particular situation?
I feel like it is a little bit shallow for me to say, but I'm not happy with him being number 18. Simple as that. He's our big record signing. I don't really care about the number 9 curse. I wanted him to have number 9, and I think he still could have it if Abraham does move on to Roma, Atlanta, Arsenal, something like that. But I don't want him to be number 18. The only player I can remember at Chelsea is maybe Loic Remy in 14-15, and he wasn't really a memorable player. So I understand, yes, when he left Chelsea, number 18, but since he's left Chelsea, let's reward him with the shirt. How much he's improved since he left. It's been 10 years. He's become one of the most prolific strikers in Europe in that time. Let's not reward him by giving him the same shirt he was when he was a youngster. Let's give him the 9. He's leading our line. He's going to be our main striker next season. Let's make this guy feel like he is going to be a gun at this club.
True.
And obviously, it's just a number. Obviously, it's like your shirt doesn't make a difference, but I'm sure, especially for the shirt sales, people are going to be much buying the Lukaku 9 rather than the Lukaku 18. So I know you have got yourself a Lukaku 9, Miz. So if that is 18, that is going to be so bad for you. But, just a marker and cross it out and write 9, just in big black letters. But apart from that, it is all good. And, yeah, look at this. Ours doesn't have the same ring. Yeah, R18. It's just like, I want him to have the number 9, basically. And I know there's not really much explanation to that, but, I want my main striker to be wearing the number 9 shirt.
Look, you know what? I thought about that, and I got the jersey for Romelu Lukaku number 9. He's going to probably get number 18 now. But I've said it to myself, I don't care. For me, he's number 9. He's number, as you said, Taron. Even from a selling the jersey perspective, like a merchandise perspective, from an advertising perspective, Romelu Lukaku number 9 has a lot more of a ring, as declared, saying R18. Like that's. He's not an 18, man. Like he's number 9. So
it's like a car name, Audi R8, 18.
Yeah, exactly. And as Taron said, you want him to feel so special. You are the number 9 of this football club, which is, a big deal. And I can already see a few people saying 9 is cursed. I don't really care. It's not, I don't believe in all of this curse and all of this stuff. Romelu Lukaku is a lethal player in his own right. So, Frederick is saying number 9 is much more marketable. That's the thing. I don't know how you can sell 18. It's not really that marketable. Ishan, let's now talk about the Tammy Abraham situation. Once again, Thomas Tuchel was asked this particular question. Now that Romelu Lukaku is now officially here, it's like pretty much saying, Tammy, what are you doing here? Like, you need to jet. I mean, you should have already probably jetted a long time ago, but now you need to really pack your bags up and go. Once again, Thomas Tuchel quite straightforward about it. He was like, he's part of the squad. There's not really much that he's heard or anything like that. But you can tell that he's not interested about this question at all. He himself wants the player to move on as well. I think the player wants to move on as well. But he's mentioned that it's very amicable. There's respect within the two. Are you surprised that it's taking this long for Tammy to move on?
I mean, maybe Tammy Abraham doesn't want to leave. Maybe especially to AS Roma. It seems that way because maybe he wants to leave to Arsenal or maybe a West Ham. But from that end, we're not getting any bids. So where does Tammy go? That's the thing. So, but the thing here is regarding Tammy Abraham, we've seen that we've heard a lot of news. And just yesterday, I passed you one article as well from goal.com where Nizar Kansala had reported that Chelsea accepted Roma's 40 million euros transfer bid for Abraham with a buyback clause. Right? That's what we saw. But again, the thing which you asked me, I'm going to repeat that. Did even Tammy accept that? Because if that would have been accepted, the deal was done, right?
I think Ishan, the latest is I saw a tweet from Simon Phillips. I can't remember exactly who the source was. They were saying that apparently Tammy Abraham has asked Roma to give him a little bit more time to think about it because Roma wanted a decision this weekend because they need a striker or else they'll look somewhere else. But Tammy Abraham's wanting a little bit more time, which makes me think, one, maybe he is interested slowly, or at the same time, maybe Arsenal and West Ham are just not willing to pay that big amount of money. He does want to wait for those clubs, as you said, but I think you should just make the decision and just go, man, Roma wants him. Like, they literally want him. Jose Mourinho called him, apparently. So, go on, man.
Yeah, so I mean, there were some executives from Roma board as well who visited Stamford Bridge and Chelsea, to discuss Tammy and close his negotiation. So that was the latest from him. But the thing is, I think so. It's the second option which you said, that Tammy Abraham might be waiting for Arsenal or West Ham, and if you're saying that he needs time, I don't know for what does he need time. Is he waiting for Thomas Tuchel to give him a chance? Absolutely not. He knows that he's got no future. He's got no future in Chelsea, despite of Lukaku. He's being rested now or in isolation now. He won't be featuring for Chelsea. So the thing here is, for him as a player himself, he needs to move quick, right? He cannot be wasting time there, and there will be a couple of matches, maybe 2-3 weeks gone by the time he decides, and all the negotiation deals and then everything transpires. Maybe 2-3 weeks might be gone, and he'll reach that late. So I mean, it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. We spoke about this even the last show, that it's definitely not a bad deal for Tammy as well. Knowing the fact that if got Jose Mourinho there, he can learn a lot from that guy, and also there's Edin Dzeko who can teach him a lot, being an experienced striker.
Oh, yeah, Zeko's gone to Inter Milan.
Oh yeah, he's gone to Inter Milan right, now, right? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it'll be a good deal all in all for Tammy. I think so. He's waiting for Arsenal, to be very honest. Arsenal or maybe a West Ham, maybe a bid from there might change his decision. But at the end of the day, I think so. He should be going to Roma.
Yeah, man, I feel the same as well. Taron, I just want to get your thoughts on this. Obviously, Declan in Ireland saying, I can't see Tammy playing tomorrow in case he gets injured and hampers any transfer. That's a very, very, good comment. He didn't even play in the Super Cup. I don't think he'll probably play tomorrow either. I mean, Taron, the player needs to really sort this out ASAP, because the season's literally starting. If it's Roma, then go out there and do it. If it's Arsenal, then get Arsenal to push for it. You know what I mean? I hate this situation where the season's already started and, he's lingering around. I mean, it's not really good for the squad. It's not really good for him. I mean, what's your thoughts about the whole situation?
This is a great comment. You've all made some great points, but I really, really like this comment from Declan Ireland saying, yeah, if he's, say, about time for Roma, he plays tomorrow, he gets an injury, that's going to hamper. They're going to want to sign an injured striker. He's going to have to recover from the injury at Roma, have to go through all of his medicals with an injury. It's going to be a big, big issue. So that's a great comment, first of all. But I think taking Fikayo Tomori as an example, first of all, as how successful he's been since leaving Chelsea. He's moved to Italy, which is a great league for English players to adapt into. I feel like it's quite similar physical defensive game as the English game, kind of like that. So Tomori, he left. He wasn't getting favoured under Lampard. He left, and now he became one of AC Milan's best centre-backs, and he's been rated very highly again. If Tammy Abraham leaves ASAP to Roma, he can get his career back, because right now he was going like this under Lampard, and now he's going like this, and under Tuchel, it's just going down. He can't afford, at this age in his career, to keep going down anymore. He needs to find some kind of balance to keep going up again, to play under Jose Mourinho for what he did for Harry Kane. He made Harry Kane from, I say, a poacher and a technical poacher into a guy who can drop deep, who can get assists, who can create play. And I really think Mourinho can evolve Abraham into a top striker. But there again, he's lived in London probably his whole life. His family are here. It's not an easy decision to make in 2 days. He has to factor in so many different things to leave the club he loves, all the people at Chelsea that he loves, Mason Mount, all these other kind of guys. So it's not an easy decision. But if I'm in Abraham's shoes right now and I'm thinking about my footballing career, and I have the opportunity to work under Jose Mourinho, to link up with Henrik Mkhitaryan, with Nicolo Zaniolo, and all these other great players.
It's a decent team. It's a decent team.
They have some great players. And Chris Smalling is an English player, could help him settle in there as well. So if I'm Abraham, I'm going to try and find a good way, in my personal way, to leave Chelsea ASAP. Because the way I'm seeing it, before, even without Lukaku, he wasn't even getting into the team. Imagine now we have one of the best number 9s in Europe, or number 18s in Europe. There's no way he's gonna. There's no way he's gonna break in. But I love Tammy Abraham. I have to respect him. I don't want him to rush into any decisions. But there again, season started now, mate. You can't exactly have a month or two to decide. You have to find a way out ASAP.
I can't believe that he's waited this long. Like, he knew he wasn't part of the plan for such a long time. I just find it very, very amazing. Hopefully he sorts that out. We're going to talk about some team news. Obviously, Hakim Ziyech very, very soon. Guys, we've got 140 live. Let's get the likes up to well over 100. As I said, the likes helps out the channel a lot. You guys have helped me out to get to 7,000 subscribers. Now the chase for 8,000 is on. So let's get those likes up well over 100 straight away, and also share this particular stream with as many people as you want. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Very, very important. And check out my boys and their socials in the description right now. The link is ready. All you need to do is just click and follow them in their socials. All right, Ishan, I want to talk to you about Hakim Ziyech. I have to admit, I was so glad to hear from Thomas Tuchel, because I was worried from all the conversations I've heard recently with dislocated shoulder and whatnot. First of all, I'm not even sure how Hakim Ziyech got his dislocated shoulder, because it didn't really look like he got hit by a player or anything like that. It looked like the most smallest touch. I don't know, maybe that's what's just triggered it off. But a lot of people were saying that something like this could take 4 to 6 weeks or even more to recover, because last thing you want is for it to be dislocated again. But I'm so glad Thomas Tuchel came out and said that, yes, it looks serious, but thankfully it's probably about two to 3 weeks. He was saying more likely about 2 weeks he's going to be away, but no promises. He said 2 weeks is what they're thinking. But I was like, thank you, God, so much that I can live with 2 weeks. If it's 2 weeks, and in my head, I was sort of thinking when I saw the injury, hopefully 2 weeks. I mean, when you heard that news, Ishan, and I know I'm a massive fan of Ziyech, but the pre-season he had as well, like he deserved to continue from that. He was the only goal scorer for us against Villarreal in the Super Cup, and as soon as he came off injured, we lost that little bit of touch. So it's very important that this player comes back fit again and makes this happen. How did you feel when you heard that news from Thomas Tuchel?
Yeah, it was. I think so. It was very relieving. First of all, whenever the moment he got injured, the way he was screaming on the ground, I thought that it's got dislocated. And you cannot be screaming that high when it's just a minor sort of injury. The way he was screaming, I knew it got dislocated. But then just moments after that, he was a bit relieved after the doctors came. Maybe the thing was his shoulder got dislocated and maybe popped back in. So that might be the case. Then I was worried at that time. I needed an instant answer. I rang my friend who had a shoulder dislocated some years back. Right. Yeah. And it was the same way, he's a taekwondo player, right? So he got his shoulder dislocated by that. And it got dislocated and popped back in. Same case like him. And I asked him, man, what does it take? How much time does it take? Comes out and pops back in. It might be 2 to 3 weeks stops. And, it's very important to stop the movement of your arm, immediately after that thing happens. Yeah. So it was a very, very good call. At least thankfully.
Oh, we're having some issues with Ishan's connection. Hopefully he'll be back. Taron, you're on mute as well.
That was embarrassing again. But, when you have shoulder injuries, you come back from that. You don't know if you're going to have the same kind of desire to get into physical challenges. When I've seen Ziyech, even in the stadium, this is the most physical I've seen him since his time at Chelsea. He's getting into tackles, he's getting into duels, he's really competing. And I feel bad that he was hitting all this form. Honestly, this is the best I've seen him since the start of Sheffield United games. And I'm just disappointed to see this injury happen now. I'm glad it's only 2 weeks. But like I said, once he comes back, I doubt it's going to be the exact same Ziyech we saw during this preseason period. So I just feel for the guy. He keeps getting these injuries in key periods of his Chelsea career, and it's just, even for Ziyech fans, like I've recently become as a member of the Ziyech fan club, so it's really unfortunate to see all of this stuff happening.
100%, man. I mean, Ishan, I'll let you continue because you were talking about your friend's situation. Carry on from there.
Yeah. So, I need a quick response on the whole situation. I called him and he said the same thing happened to him. It popped out and he, their friends, in the group made him, helped him to back
Pushed it back
thing
in.
Yeah. So he had to take immediate medical consultation, and the doctor said, thankfully you did not. It's very, very important for that time. Do not move that thing. That arm. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God, my neighborhood. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So I was saying that it's very important to keep that arm stiff, not have much movement. And luckily Ziyech, he was subbed off. He did not need to take much more movements in that game. So yeah, I think so. Luckily, it's just a matter of 2-3 weeks. We'll see him back. But the thing is, I feel so bad for him. Even the last season, in the preseason, he was looking so good, so graceful, and so he had that spark in him. But then, again, he got injured, and then that injury was, way too serious. He had to be, resting for many months, right? 2 or 3 months, if I'm not wrong. And then he came up and he lost his spark totally.
He was about 2 months off, like 7-8 weeks later, he started his season.
Yeah, so thankfully this time around it's not that much. He'll be back after 3 week stops, and I just hope the spark that he had in the preseason, total of 6 goals if I'm not wrong, including the Villarreal game, and he's the highest goal scorer. Maybe I won't be wrong if I say he's been the best player for us in the preseason. So I hope he returns back and just continues the way he's played in the preseason.
100%. I mean, Taron, you were mentioning that this player, he's had the first season where plays well and then gets injured, plays well, then gets injured. Similarly, this season, the preseason was so strong, and then out of nowhere, this crazy, injury that has happened. Luckily, it is for 2 weeks, which would mean that he'll probably miss, obviously, the Palace and the Arsenal game. But after that, hopefully he comes back. But I do like your comment. I mean, it's a bit of a concerning one where you said that how much is he going to be up for a challenge after that? Because once it's popped one time, the physical challenge from there on in, you're always going to be a bit concerned. So that's going to be very, very important to see Ziyech. How does he, get into a physical combat in the coming weeks once he comes back? So no, it's a very, very good point. I mean, Ziyech, I'm calling you Ziyech. Taron, with last season, I used to call you Werner. Taron, with Ziyech now being injured, who do you see stepping up as the creator for the next couple of weeks? From your perspective, who do you think is going to be the one that's going to be producing those goal-scoring moments for Chelsea?
So I was just laughing at the most recent comment in the live chat. I thought it was quite funny. But
oh my, that's funny. Man's pet elephant needs feeding. Come on, Ishan, go out there and feed that elephant, man. Come on.
Anyways, I think Mason Mount for sure, 100% Mason Mount. He's going to step in. I say Ziyech and Mason Mount are quite similar.
No. Do you think he starts against Palace?
I do.
Okay.
I actually do. Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, and we'll get into the lineups a bit later in detail. But I feel like Ziyech was dropping deep quite a lot and allowing Hudson-Odoi to kind of get out wide, drive at players. And Mason Mount can play the role so well. The kind of free roam 10 who will hold the space in the middle, will free roam everywhere, create space, have shots. In the Ziyech set pieces were amazing. His technical crosses were amazing. And I think Mason Mount is quite similar in the way he can do that. Obviously, Mason Mount's right foot is nowhere near Ziyech's left foot, but in terms of their creative output for Chelsea, I feel like their role is quite similar. And I feel like they can link up with the other front two, who I'll get into a bit later, quite well. I think, Mason Mount has stepped up a lot last season. He was, even in the dark times under Lampard, he was our creative presence at all times. Even under Thomas Tuchel when he came in, everyone just passed the ball to Mount. Hopefully he would find a pass, he'd shoot, he'd create something. And I think that is the biggest. Maybe, I'd say Mason Mount is Christian Pulisic, not really as much. So, definitely Mason Mount in that role. And I think he can link up with Hudson-Odoi to a very good standard.
100. Obviously, we'll do the formation very soon, and it's going to be very interesting how we all line things up. Just quickly before I go to Ishan, the last point in the press conference before we start talking about Crystal Palace, Taron, how important is the fans coming back to Stanford Bridge? Obviously, it's going to be after a long, long time where the players get to play in front of the home crowd, and the match is at Stanford Bridge. I mean, Thomas Tuchel did mention that, this is going to be a big uplift. that should hopefully add as another additional factor for the team to overcome the situation where I feel like certain players are still a little bit undercooked in this match coming up. Obviously, with the injury with Ziyech as well, Lukaku not being present either. Do you think the crowd could hopefully help us and then get that victory above Crystal Palace?
Yeah, no, I've witnessed it a few weeks ago, how much the fans make a difference in the moments where you need a goal late on, when the momentum's building, the fans kind of raise up the pressure cooker in the stadium. I mean, it is kind of like a pressure cooker when it kind of raises up. The fans start to help the players to pass the ball quicker, to create attacks, to transition even quicker. So, yeah, definitely last season, I say we did miss the fans at Stamford Bridge a lot when even later on in the game, we were drawing 0-0 to Brighton, we were losing 1-0 to Arsenal. We needed the fans to gear up the players, to say, come on, boys, start with the CFC chance, make the players get that last little push in them to, get the goal. So, yeah, it's a massive deal. It's unfortunate that, we will have a section of our stadium that won't be open for fans, which is right in front of one of the goals. But, what can we do about that? We still have around 35,000 capacity, something like that. It is a massive, massive deal. And I say our club doesn't really rely on fans as much as, your Burnley, your other clubs who literally live and breathe their kind of fans in the stadiums. But, we still play a nice brand of football. It's nice for the fans to see Thomas Tuchel ball like in the Premier League in real life for the first time. Thomas Tuchel said it in his press conference that, the fans need to feel the players playing. They need to feel the connections. They need to feel the connection, the manager, the players and the fans. And yeah, it's going to be great for the fans to see that in real life. And shame we can't have Lukaku as well to play on Saturday. But what can you do? He'll be back at Stanford Bridge for the Aston Villa game, which hopefully I'll be attending. So it'll be all great. And yeah, I think it does make a massive difference in the moments where you need a goal or you need a big moment in the game.
100%, man. I can't wait for that Aston Villa game. Hopefully you do get tickets for that, Taron, because that'll be epic. Bonolo here, nice comment. Home games will feel like home games and away games will feel like away games again. This is what the fan factor does. It's been strange the last couple of seasons with no fans. You just feel numb. Now with the fans back, the watching from your TV will be that much better as well for the people that can't go to the matches. And obviously the people that can go to the matches, it's going to be a epic, experience. All right, let's get into the whole Crystal Palace analysis now. Let's get this up and rolling. I'll go to you, Ishan. Ishan, Crystal Palace, by the way, just before we start this, guys, we've got literally over 200 people live. Smash the like button, get the likes up to well over 150. As I said, always helps out the channel a lot. So let's get those likes up. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. We are on the way to 8,000 now. Check out the boys and their socials in the description right now. All right, Ishan. Crystal Palace actually had a very good pre-season, in my opinion. I know they've mostly played all championship teams, besides Watford, who got promoted. But, 1-0 victory against Walsall, 1-0 against Ipswich Town, 2-2 against Charlton, 3-1 against Reading, and 3-1 against Watford. And the recent one against Watford, 2 goals from Wilfried Zaha. Let me see if I can enlarge that a little bit more. There you go. The one 3-1, 2 goals from Zaha and 1 from Benteke. And this is how they've lined up, Ishan. They had Guetta, Sheikh Kouate, Mitchell, Joel Ward, Gihi, MacArthur, Schlupp, Reedwald, Mateta, Zaha and Elwood. Like, it looks like a decent team. Some of the names like Mateta, I've not heard of him before. But besides that, obviously Margihi, ex-Chelsea player. I think Patrick Vieira, it's safe to say that he's shaping up nicely for this game, Ishan, against Chelsea. What's your thoughts?
Listen, Patrick Vieira brings in a different flair in the team. It's quite different to what we had against Roy Hodgson. The Crystal Palace of Roy Hodgson is completely different to what Crystal Palace of Patrick Vieira is going to be. So the thing is, Mark Gehi looks very, very promising in the defense. First of all, the thing is, we cannot say no more that Crystal Palace is a low block team. I don't think so. That's going to be the case when Patrick Vieira is the manager. They're more of a possession-based team now. With it's very evident that Patrick Vieira is a manager who likes to have possession. He likes to conquer the ball. We've seen again when Patrick Vieira was the manager of OGC Nice. He, the way he used to conquer the ball, have the position gameplay. He used to absorb all the pace of the game, slow the game down, play the ball in the midfield more. Midfield is very, very important in terms of Patrick Vieira's gameplay, or the tactics that he plays is very, very important. Also, the left back, right back are the two positions where he likes to keep it in the attacking front. He really likes when his left back and right back goes forward, and it's similar, somewhat similar to what Thomas Tuchel likes with his wing back positions to go up and down in the flanks, similarly to what Patrick Vieira is. Here, the thing is, I've seen 2 highlights of Crystal Palace last preseason games. I've seen that they like to play aerial balls more. They're a possession-based team now. They like to play aerial balls more, knowing the fact that Zaha is there, who can actually very much conquer in the up front when the aerial ball come in, and then he's very good in that. And also adding a Christian Benteke, he's a massive header of the ball. So Crystal Palace looks like to develop their gameplay in that sense that they become a possession-based team, and they'll out of nowhere be lofted through balls or lofted cross coming out of nowhere, and you'll see the target man being a Mateta or maybe a Christian Benteke or rather Wilfred Zaha to come in and have a tap.
By the way, how is Mateta? Like, I've not seen much of him. Is he a very good player or what?
Yeah, I mean, even me, I've not seen much of him, but he looks definitely looks promising. He looks like to be the starting lineup regularly. But then yes, they have Christian Benteke also. He's been good in form. You can never take Benteke out of the game, and he always comes in and chips in with a goal. That's why he's whenever we say that his form is declining, maybe he needs to find somewhere else. Look at his future. He comes up with such a brilliant performance that it's very difficult for Crystal Palace to actually get rid of him. So yeah, Christian Benteke would be a very, very lethal option. But I do not think that Christian Benteke would start. Maybe it should be Mateta. But even if Benteke starts, we should not be surprised because he's had a very good game against Watford the last preseason. So I mean, it is going to be a different Crystal Palace. It's not going to be a low block at all. It will be a little bit of a tactical battle between Thomas Tuchel and Patrick Vieira. It'll be very interesting to see how our defenders cope up with the aerial balls that'll be delivered by the defenders and midfielders of Crystal Palace. So yeah, it'll be a good contesting game. Really looking forward to it. It will be very, very good test for our defenders as well. To have a start, because it's not easy. The next 5 to 6 games for Chelsea Football Club in the Premier League is not easy. It's against the best of the teams in the Premier League. So I think so. It's good that we're getting Crystal Palace at our first game, so that we can test ourselves. Check the whole bench strength. Check have compatible with the team chemistry, and then go full fledging with the next 4-5 tough games that's coming up in the Premier League.
100% agreed. Taron, looking at this ins and outs of Crystal Palace, they've literally just sent all of their players out from last season. They've really cleaned out. Obviously, Patrick Vieira wants to stamp his authority in this team. And look at the ins, some really nice players they've got in. Obviously, Mark Gehi, ex-Chelsea Academy player who's had a fantastic loan spell at Swansea. Then they've also bought that Fulham I think he was also on loan in Fulham. I think I'm not really sure.
We were linked with them at one stage as well. I think last season.
Right, Joachim Andersen. I believe he's a Danish player. He played in the Euros and he played very well as well for Denmark. Conor Gallagher is obviously on loan, but won't be able to play against us because of that the loan situation. But what do you make out of this Patrick Vieira? Cleaning up that squad and bringing in, looks like a lot of youngsters, and then including them with the Zahas and the Bentekes and the Matetas and whatnot. How do you feel about this particular Crystal Palace team?
Yeah, they've really invested in youth this season. They've got rid of some of the older players who let their contract run out, and they've signed players like I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Michael Elise from Reading, who was one of the best players in the Championship last season. A few Reading fans that are friends of mine, and they rate Elise up with Eze, who played for them last season. Similar kind of revelation, a really creative kind of inverted free roam kind of midfielder. He's a great player. 8 million for Elise could be a steal in the future. I'm telling you right now, that could come back to 50 million even in the future if a big club kind of goes for him. But, the ends are so good. Conor Gallagher won't be available, obviously. He is, a loan, a loan cup, I don't even know, something like that. He won't be playing. Mark Gurhey is available for this game. Michael Elise, like I said, has a back problem. He's not available. Like I said, Joachim Andersen has a calf issue. He won't be available. Obviously, Eberiche Eze is not available for this game. But, the team is going more towards youth. We've known Crystal Palace in the past, players like Gary Cahill, Scott Dan, Patrick Van Arnholt. The team was very much aging. But the thing that Vieira has got going here is a youth project. They've invested in all these youth players, like I've said. It's a project for the future, clearly. And I do hope it works out. But it is going to be a good game, like Ishan was saying earlier. Many people are unclear how they're going to play in pre-season. It didn't look like they had some of their main players, so you don't really know how they're going to play. Like I said, they have a lot of injuries right now, but some research I did from footballtransfers.com, Vieira plays a very high-energy pressing style of football, very, very possession-based. He does like to play with the ball at times. I'm not sure if he's going to go all guns blazing against Chelsea on Saturday. Obviously, he is going to be quite conservative, but they are going to come out. They are going to play some nice football. They are going to try and pass the ball. They're not going to sit back in a low kind of 4-5-1. They are going to play a good style of football. And it's going to be a very much contrary to how Hodgson used to play. A lot of Crystal Palace fans aren't going to be used to it. Obviously, Hodgson in the Premier League played a very, very conservative style of football, relying on Zaha to be the individual talent up front. But it is going to be a very interesting game, like I said. A lot of these players in the 4-2-3-1 formation, obviously, Hodgson did play a 4-5-1, a very, very low 4-5-1. Wilfred Zaha, a very, very new, interesting role now for Crystal Palace, is playing as a cam now, which should be different for him. He can free roam anywhere. Before he played as a striker or a winger. And that's kind of playing off Mateta or Benteke up front. So this could really be unlocking of Wilfred Zaha. The last few years, he's been very, very disappointing, being, relied on too much. But now he has a focal point to play with up front. He has two wingers aside of him, which could be Jeff Schlupp. It could be some other players, some other players I mentioned before. But right now, all I can say is going to be similar to Leeds or similar to how Norwich played in the Premier League. A very, very high energy and a very, very possession-based style of football.
Nah, man. Yeah, a lot of the live chat are saying the same thing as well. The Beautiful Game is saying Palace will attack. No Ziyech, Kante, Havertz, Lukaku. I'm not really sure if we're not going to have Kante or Havertz. I'm not sure where you're getting that from, Beautiful Game. Let me know, because in the press conference, no one said anything about that there's going to be no Kante, Havertz. I know Havertz played a lot of minutes, but I think he still has to follow it up. Taron, before I go back to Ishan, just quickly as well, Thomas Tuchel has played Patrick Vieira 4 times in Liga the season before last one, and he's beaten him 3 times and drawn once. Obviously, with PSG, you've always got that extra edge. But these are some of the scores. PSG beat OJC Nice 3-0, 4-1, 1-1, and 3-0. So Thomas Tuchel coming into this game against Patrick Vieira, as you said, the style that he plays, pressing, high intensity, kind of similar to what we do, possession-based footballer as well. Thomas Tuchel shouldn't be surprised as to what Patrick Vieira is going to try and do. He will know some knowledge about this particular manager because obviously he's played him before.
Definitely. He's definitely going to be sitting there with his assistants, analysing how Vieira played. It's going to be very similar. It's not like he's going to change everything to adapt to the Premier League. It's going to be his philosophy. It's going to be like you see the tactics section here, 4-2-3 attacking, very, very attacking formations, 4-4-2, 6-6, 4-2-3-1. He's going to know that Vieira is not going to be a passenger in this game. He's not going to just sit back. He's not going to just, try and counter-attack. He is going to come out, and Thomas Tuchel, he does adapt his teams to different managers. He isn't the guy who will see, oh, for example, you played well this week, I'm going to put you into the team. He plays Timo Werner against high-line teams. He's Pulisic against low-block teams. He does like to think like this when it comes to analysing different managers. So he's definitely going to be looking at that in a big, big whiteboard in his office. How did Vieira play? How did the Sixers like to play? How high is the defence? Did they play possession? How did the strikers like to drop in? How did the wingers tuck in? He's going to be looking at all these things and how he's going to ask his players to counter-attack his style of play. and how we can really affect them. So we'll mention it more in the lineups later. Which players can start and which players can really, really affect Crystal Palace. But I'm 100% sure he's going to be looking at this and really analysing it, because I'm sure when he played Guardiola last season, he was looking at how he played against Bayern Munich. He was looking at different managers like, Ralph Hasenhüttl, how he played against him when he was at Red Bull Leipzig. So, yeah, I'm sure Thomas Tuchel is a tactical genius. He knows what managers do. He analyses it, to little details, which sees us win duels. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And he's got the better of Nice before, but it's going to be a much tighter game, I think, to PSG versus Nice.
100%. Some news coming out about Kante. This is obviously Nizar Kinsella asking it post the TV version of the press conference. Obviously, then they get to ask the journalists, the paper writing ones. And this is what I hate. This wasn't covered in the real press conference, but the live chat. Thank you so much for letting us know this. Nizar Kinsella has just put out a tweet saying Hakim will miss the game for sure because of his injury. The decision is made that it will be treated conservatively. We don't need surgery, which is very good news, and we hope it continues like this. He can be back in 2 weeks. We hope. That's fantastic. But this is the key one, ladies and gentlemen. Straight after that one, Tuchel says we have some issues with N'Golo Kante from the Super Cup game. Now, I mean, does that mean he's out, or I don't? So he's got some issues. So maybe he might not get, played, because the last thing you want is he's got issues, then we play him, and then he has even bigger issues, and then he's not playing for like 2-3 months. We definitely don't want that. So keep that in mind. Live chat, thank you so much for letting us know about this, which is now the whole midfield conversation becomes very, very difficult. Let's actually get into the whole formation side of things now. This is where it's going to get very interesting. But before we do that, once again, ladies and gentlemen, 200 plus, 213 live. Let's get those likes up to well over 200, guys. As I said, it's literally about 15 away from 100 likes. Let's get those likes up to 200 plus. Helps the channel out a lot. And you guys seem to be enjoying it as well. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you're subscribing and share it. Share it with many other people as well. And check out the boys and their socials in the description right now. Let's get those likes up to 100 straight away. Literally about 12 likes away. So smash the like button, get those likes up to 100 right away. Man, I'm a bit bummed out now with Kante not being available. This is going to be a bit difficult. Man, it really sparks that conversation, Ishan. I'll go to you first up before we do the lineup. We need that midfielder. The live chat is asking for that midfielder as well. Tchouaméni. What about Tchouaméni, Miz? I just can't believe that we've kept it so late. We've had so long. We've been doing all our streams, Ishan, talking about Chelsea transfers and whatnot. We're looking at Koundé next up. But even the whole Koundé thing, I can't believe it's taken so long. Lukaku situation, I can understand. He's a top striker out there. It can get difficult. But I think there's a really good comment here from Surbajoti Roy saying Chalobah can be a DM. I think there's a need for Trevor Chalobah now, probably in the team, not just as a CB cover, but maybe as a DM cover. What's your thoughts, Ishan?
Now, first of all, N'Golo Kante's situation, it is worrying. It might not be serious, but it's still worrying, because we all know the fact that Chelsea are very, very cautious and very, very conservative when it comes to N'Golo Kante and his fitness. It is maybe Chelsea's prime importance to keep Kante fit, because we all know how good of a player he is, what a champion of a player he is in big games, and whenever he plays, he brings that Kante element, and nobody can take away from that. He's the star man, so he needs to be conserved, and rightly so. And it's understandable if he does not play. It's just the first game of the Premier League. We do not want that man to get injured and go out for a couple of months. So it's better to just rest one game, get back to his best, and maybe in the later games he can come back and join the squad. But the replacement thing, we've talked about this, Miss, and we've fallen into that situation where we've got three players for two positions. One of them gets injured, and we've got 2 for 2. So again, it's the risk of burning out those two guys. But I think so. Thomas Tuchel has been preparing Ruben Loftus-Cheek in that pivot position in the preseason, and I think so. He might actually use Ruben Loftus-Cheek, maybe not in the starting 11, but then in the substitutions, maybe in the 70th minute or 80th minute. Also, we know the fact that Thomas Tuchel will develop. The last season was a different scenario where he did not have options to. He did not buy any players. It was all then and there that he need to decide. But now we've seen even in the pre-match conference of the Super Cup final where he clearly said that whenever there is a game to win, whenever he needs to win a game, he does not envy to change players much more. He does not envy substitutions much. Whatever play he plays, he wants them to play till full 90 minutes because he wants to keep that tempo running. Whenever there's a new change, he does not like that system change. He does not like that tempo change in the whole gameplay. So, considering that, we might, again, the concerning factor that we talked about, that there might be risk of burning out Kovacic and Jorginho. Also knowing the fact that Jorginho might not be at his 100% health because he was just recovering, and he was being rested because of his high long Euro finals and his win and everything else. But then yes, the thing is, Xiaomeni deal should have been done, because also knowing the fact that Billy Gilmore is in Norwich, we do not have a backup midfielder, or else Gilmore could have hopped in and then given his 100%. Whenever he gets his game time, he does that. But now again, we're on the options. We're out of options, and Xiaomeni is a necessity, like we all discussed. But as of now, as of Crystal Palace game, maybe I see a Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming up in the second half. Not in the starting 11, definitely for sure, but maybe in the second half if he needs to replace a Jorginho or Kovacic.
Yeah, man, something to really think about in that midfield. Taron, you brought up a really good point in the private chat to tell me to bring this particular comment. Abdullah Dawood is saying he's not good enough to be in DM in the French league. You're crazy if you think he can play in the Premier League. This is a very, very good comment, and I'll tell you why. And I'll get to, and I'll also want to hear what Taron has to say about this. One, Chelsea's actually looking at Trevor Chalobah as a CB, and the loan that they're thinking about sending him to, they want him to play wherever he goes as a CB. They don't want him to play as a DM. Can he do a job? Perhaps he can, but doing a job in the Premier League that's not going to cut it. You don't want someone to just do a job. And I don't think Thomas Tuchel is probably going to throw someone like Chalobah there in the midfield when he looks comfortable in the CB area. So something really, really deep to think about. And obviously Kovacic played, 120 minutes in the Super Cup as well. Jorginho, I don't even know how match fit he is. He just came back. That was his first proper match against Villarreal. And if Kante's situation is concerning, I really don't want him to start. Honestly, I don't want him to start because I'd rather want him for the whole season as opposed to coming in, playing for 60 minutes, picks up an injury, and then he's gone for about a month. So it's crucial. As Ishan said, Ruben Loftus-Cheek comes into the mix. I don't know, Ethan Ampadu, some people are saying, but once again, Ampadu hasn't even played. The man hasn't even played. So it'll be very, very interesting how we set this up. Man, we definitely need a midfield, man. We really do. We need a midfielder ASAP. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this 240 live. Let's get the likes up straight away. Well over 200, guys. This is going to get really, really spicy now, the team selection. I'll start with you, Taron, my boy. Goalkeeper, I think undoubtedly Mendy.
Bettinelli. Oh, Mendy, yeah, Mendy for this game. I'll start Mendy. And the three, should I go the three centre-backs as well?
Yeah, go with that, and then I'll see what Ishan thinks about it as well.
Do you know, this lineup's actually surprisingly quite hard, but obviously left centre-back, even though he played 120 minutes, obviously Antonio Rudiger, no doubt about it whatsoever. He looks like he could have run like 4 more games after that. Down the middle, it is a difficult one again because Curtis Zouma, I don't think he was that good against Villarreal. I thought he was really, really slack in conditioning. Chalobah had to bail out a lot. And Christensen wasn't great when he came on as well. He let, Dia get the best of him for the goal. So I'd probably go with Zouma just purely for the fact that he has the most match sharpness out of all of them. Yeah, more match sharpness out of all of them. And, I think he can deal with Benteke. If you remember his tackle against Crystal Palace back in 2019.
When do we start putting in Thiago Silva, though, Taron? I mean, surely he needs game time, right?
Yeah, I'd probably... that's a great question. Maybe this game, he could come off the bench later on if we're winning. That's probably the only thing I could suggest. And then he can go from there, similar to Christensen. But yeah, it is going to be very difficult to balance all these players coming back. I did say it in a stream we did ages ago. How are we going to kind of balance all these players coming back? The Premier League starting in a week, it's just not normal. But yeah, I'd start Zuma centre-back for this game.
I mean, he's the most fittest. He's the most fittest at the moment, right?
Yeah, but like I said, he was really poor against Villarreal. And on the right centre-back, Chalobah did play 120 minutes, I believe, against I believe he did against Villarreal, 120.
Yeah.
So that's
man of the
crazy.
match as well, I'd say. Man of the match.
He didn't look tired, but then again, is he going to go with Christensen? Is he going to go with Chalobah? Is he going to go with Aspi, who was really good when he came on? I'm actually going to go towards Trevor Chalobah. I'm going to go towards Chalobah. Yeah. So I say the same back three as before, but I wouldn't be surprised if we drop Zuma, we put Chalobah into the middle, we put Aspi in. Anything could really happen. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's what I'd go for.
Yeah, man. This is so tough, man. I'm a bit confused as well as to when you bring in Thiago Silva. Some people are saying he's not match fit. Yeah, he's not match fit, but you do need to get the match fit. But is the Premier League game to start in the first Premier League game is the right one to be match fit? Christensen as well didn't look absolutely on point. I mean, Ishan, what's the back three you're going with? I think besides Rudiger and maybe Zuma, because he is the most fittest out of all of them, Rudiger and Zuma. Who do you go for? Do you stick with Chalobah?
I'm not going with Zuma. I don't see that happening because he's looked to me absolutely vulnerable in the last match against Villarreal.
Yeah,
there was
as
so
Taron said
many
as well.
gaps he exploited against Villarreal, and he is absolutely vulnerable in that, especially in that centre back position. For me, I don't think so. He should be going for the match. If Thiago Silva is fit, I would rather Thiago Silva 100% without any doubt. If he's not fit, I mean, there's no news that he's not featuring. He can feature, right? So I would go with Thiago Silva. If not Thiago Silva, then I would rather Andres Christensen in that centre back.
I think Christensen will probably have a bigger shout because he's already played in the Super Cup. But maybe what we can do is we'll just have Silva in the background as well. You're going to keep with Chalobah?
I thought, even I was having some tactical analysis before the show started, and I was trying to do all the permutations and combinations there. I thought, why not give it a Reece James a shout? Maybe he could start in the right center back position. Let the wheels running. Let the wheels running. Let him start. Let him begin. And he could do that. If not, Chalobah is a good shout. He's had a superb game. But the thing is, even he's had, he's fit. He's match fit. He's definitely fit. But he's also had a full 120-minute game. Rudiger also had 120-minute game. We know that these two guys can go for more, but we cannot risk that. We cannot have two center backs having played 120-minute game in a span of 2 days or 3 days, right? So we cannot take that risk for sure. So I would
Aspi, perhaps. Aspi?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. Maybe an Aspi or a Reece James, whatever you put, I'll be happy with that. I would definitely have played Chalobah, but then we cannot have two guys played 120 minutes in the span of 3 games.
I'm going to keep Chalobah in the background because, once again, the fitness matters. I don't think Reece James, well, he hasn't even played. I can't imagine how he can be fit for a Premier League game. Aspi at least has featured against Villarreal. Once again, whether he's fit to start, I don't know. But Chalobah, 120 minutes, man. I mean, before we go to the wing backs, Taron, this back three is really, really difficult, but could you live with that particular three, or do you still have a bit of concern, Taron?
No, I definitely could live with that, purely for the fact they've got minutes recently. Definitely don't put Reece James. I beg, no one put Reece James into that bracket. He's just come back a week ago. He's not had any games apart from that, pre-season kind of in-house friendly. Thiago Silva, in the West Brom game, I'm going to use that as an example. When we lost 5-2, Silva came back from, I believe, just 1 day after the Brazil kind of break. He wasn't sharp and he made a few mistakes. So, especially when I say the older players, we have to be more conservative with when they kind of come back into the team. Mateta's going to be up against him. Benteke is going to be put in a fight. Wolf Sahar. We need a back three who can really defend against them forwards because they are electric, they are quick, and they are physical. So that's what I'd go with our most match fit ones who will be up for the physicality, who are used to it now, who've played a few preseason games. So that's why I'd probably put Zuma and Chalobah in there. But, I'm happy with this. I wouldn't mind considering they've played. And I literally think it's a roll of a dice. Who's he going to pick? There's really going to be difficult to predict. Is he going to try and bring back minutes in a, I say, easier Premier League game? Is he going to try and, play the players he already played? It's literally like a lottery at the minute, Miz. I don't know who he's going to go for.
You're right, man. It is definitely a lottery because of that 120 minutes that we played. That's what makes it so crazy. And players only will have 2 days of rest since then. But we'll go with this. Rudy, AC, Aspie. I think there's a lot of experience there. And we've got Silva and Chalobah in the background because we really don't know. It's a bit of a toss-up at the moment. All right. I'll have a dig at the wing backs. I'm going to have to go with Callum. As much as he hasn't impressed me against Villarreal, I'm going to have to keep backing him as a wing back. As I said, Reece James is probably not ready to do that. He's definitely not going to be one who's going to be attacking a lot more. I hope Callum does do that. Alonso played, I believe, the whole 120 minutes as well. So when do you start putting Chilwell in? This game is a bit too early for Chilwell. Literally, he just came back a week ago, eight days ago, something like that. I'm going to have to say Alonso here as well. To be honest, there is no other option. Ishan, I'll go to you first up. Is this how you think you're going to line up in the wing-backs?
Nah, huge dilemma again. It's again that 120-minute factor, isn't it? Alonso playing the whole 120-minute plus the penalty time. It's difficult, but the thing very rightly said by you that we cannot just straight away put Chilwell there. He needs the time to
find Emerson.
Yeah, or Emerson. These guys have not played matches for a long time, and especially Chilwell. We've seen in the last season as well. Frank Lampard straight away put him in the first team after his small. Injury or a small rest, then we could not see the best of Ben Chilwell for the few games. So maybe this time around Thomas Tuchel would envy to bring Chilwell slowly and steadily. Maybe for the Crystal Palace game we might see Chilwell in the second half. Similarly for Reece James as well, we can see him as a substitute. If not starting, but then yes, I don't think so. We've got any other options out of except Alonso. But the thing which is concerning me here is despite everything, right? We've got Alonso and Rudiger who's played 120 full minutes just hours ago. We can literally say so. It'll be difficult decision for Thomas Tuchel as well because as you can see, Alonso and Rudiger relatively plays in the same left side of the wing, right? So I mean, it'll be difficult because if these guys show any signs of slowing down, it's going to be very, very difficult for Chelsea to hold Crystal Palace. They'll be bombarding the attack from this left side more frequently. So we'll have to be very, very cautious with our selection as well.
Yeah, man. I didn't think it was going to be this difficult to do this, man. It's surprisingly become very, very difficult. Taron, I can't see any other options in the wing back. I know the live chat is throwing so many names out there. Kennedy is actually been thrown out there as well. Chilwell has not played a game. I can't imagine how you consider Chilwell. Reece James, same thing as well. Emerson, same thing as well. Taron, for you, are this the option?
There's literally no options that you can go for apart from this. I mean, the only thing I can say, which Tuchel's never done before, is move Aspie to left wing back and put Chalobah in. But, I don't think he's going to try that because he's never done it before. Like you said, Alonso, for this game especially, Crystal Palace is going to be intense. They're going to be pressing. They're going to be high up. They're going to try and attack us. See, we just played 120 minutes. I don't think Alonso is suited to a game like that, especially after playing 120 minutes recently as well. So, yeah. I mean, Chilwell, I really want to put Chilwell in, but it's just not the right thing to do. Same with Emerson. I really think Chilwell, it'll be a good first game back for him to start this game. Maybe Alonso could take a break here, but me personally, I know you guys want to. I'm going to put Ben Chilwell in for this game. I think he is a guy who has great fitness levels. He's going to be okay to start a game like this. He's going to be, he's going to be working all over summer to try and get ready for this game. So,
any preseason game, Chilwell? Like, has he played any in-house game or anything like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, one
He
in-house
played
game.
one in-house
in-house
game. Yeah, one in-house game. So he played the full 90 minutes in that game. So that should be all right. And like I said, with Aspi, he's quite, I say, aging a little bit now. Silver's aging. I wouldn't throw them in for a game like this, personally. But Chilwell is young. He's fresh. He didn't really play a lot at the Euros. Let's not forget that as well. I didn't even think he played one game at the Euros. So I reckon he is the type of guy who can be thrown back in for a game like this. So my only argument would be to put Chilwell in. But, Hudson-Odoi and Chilwell never played together. So maybe Aspi pushed him to right wing back. There's so many different options as well. But I'd put Chilwell in personally.
I've got Chilwell in the background. The other factor that I want to let both you boys know, and the live chat as well, after the Crystal Palace game, apparently there's another game, in-house game, that's been scheduled in before the Arsenal one. So we do need to think about, well, who plays in that one then? Do you know what I mean?
Against
and why was
Weymouth.
that?
Maybe that's designed specially for Lukaku.
Yeah.
I think it may be designed for players like Chilwell and Emerson, just to get some more minutes.
So.
Because, or else I don't understand how, if Chilwell plays this, then who plays that one? Alonso? It just doesn't make sense. Maybe it's Emerson. But look, it is what it is, man. We've got Chilwell in the background. Let's see what happens. All right, in the middle, there's no options. I literally see nothing. I'm just going to put it down straight away. If we believe that Kante shouldn't be risked. I mean, Ishan, do you disagree?
We've got no options. Are we playing Drinkwater and Bakayoko? Nah, hell no. Hell no. No Drinkwater and Bakayoko in the chat. Mind you, chat. Mind you. We've got no options, man. This is maybe a Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the second half, because we don't want these guys to burn out. These guys are very, very important and very, very crucial in the roles that they play in the midfield. So, I hope they don't get burned out, especially Jorginho, also Kovacic, both these guys. It'll be very, very crucial to keep them fit and strong for the longer season of run. Just like I said, there are many tough games coming up for the next 4-5 matches, a part of Crystal Palace. So it'll be very important for these guys especially to stay fit.
Taron, man, cover another one. 120 minutes, man. Jorginho, literally first game. Kante, we are saying that we shouldn't risk him. Do you see any other possibilities here? I can't believe now, looking back, Billy Gilmore, man, honestly, he would have started.
Exactly. And, I said in the private chat, great comment by Pratik Kawad. If the club acted, signed Tchouaméni by now, signed one of these kind of players already, we won't be having this issue. Why are we leaving it so late? 17 days to the end of the window? The season started.
Yeah,
we've had a lot of the summer. Tchouaméni didn't go away with France, I don't believe, for the under-21s or the squad for the Euros. So why wasn't he, negotiated back then? It's stupid to me. It's really stupid. And Jorginho, especially, he's come back.
We had so much time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's frustrating. That's what I said. Jorginho has just come back from playing every single game for Italy, then playing literally every 3 days before that for Chelsea. So it's bad on him as well. He's not a player, I think, who can just be thrown back into a physical game. He's not a very athletic player like that. He's not someone who can adapt to pace for many games. So, the Jorginho we saw last season was when he had rest, he had time to recover during games, not thrown in like this. And we saw even in the game against Villarreal, he was put in, and we saw a massive lack of intensity from midfield. So, Kovacic as well. We remember that tackle in the 117th minute. He's played the whole 121. He's played the whole minutes as well. But this is the only option we have. Loftus-Cheek will not play, in my opinion, in this game. Players back, Yoko won't play. Drinkwater won't play. So hopefully we can. All I'm thinking right now is we just get the win. It's a very, very unfortunate 3 days. We can't expect to play a really nice brand of football, high intense. We just have to win. That's all I expect. Drop into a low block if we need for most of the game. Just all I ask is the 3 points with this kind of team right now.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Just hope for the 3 points. I actually didn't think how difficult picking this team would be. Honestly, I thought it would be quite straightforward. But now with all the injuries and the fact that we played literally, a day ago, a whole 120 minutes, and then we're only going to have 2 days break, makes this very, very tricky. All right, let's look at the top 3. I'll have a go, and then I'll see what you guys have to say about it. I'm going to have, once again, Kai Havertz played the whole 120, but I'm gonna have to put him. I'm gonna have to put him up front. And as much as I did not really like Timo Werner's game, I didn't even like Pulisic's game either. So I'm very, very well. Pulisic has to play because there's no. Well, does Mount start? Man, I'm so confused. I think Mount has to start for me, man. Mount has to start for me. Mount, now when I think about it, he needs to start and he can help out in midfield. Something, somewhere sort of like this sort of situation that he can play. Maybe we can put Cho a bit further up and this sort of goes that way. And Mount can be in midfield. And here, it's really a toss-up between Werner and Pulisic. Who's... you know what? I'm going to have to go with Pulisic, man. I haven't been really impressed by Werner. I'm not really impressed by Pulisic, but at least Pulisic's got a bit of a record against Crystal Palace. I'm just going to put a backup here for Werner. That's my front three, man. I'll go to you, Ishan. Thoughts?
One thing that I'm not sure is about Havertz because he looked absolutely exhausted.
He was finished. Yeah. He was finished.
He was done. I mean, forget about the extra time. He was done by 90 minutes.
Bro, his penalty. You could see his penalty was so tired.
Yeah, I mean, the extra time was way too much for him. Even till 90 minutes, I mean, he was absolutely gone. So I'm not sure if Havertz would play, and just knowing the fact that it's just been 2 days since we're having this game, I don't think so. Havertz would have a go on this. If he does, I'd be very surprised because I don't think so. He'll be able to give his 100% on this game. We all know that Havertz is a very, very important part of our team, and if he does not give 100%, the attack looks absolutely lackluster. For me, I would go for a Mount, Pulisic, and Werner. I mean, I have no other options. Mount, Pulisic, and Werner for me because Pulisic, just the reason you said, he has a wonderful, record against Crystal Palace. So I hope he picks up his form from this game as well. Mount has to start. No two ways about it. He has to be the creator of the team there, knowing the fact that Hakim Ziyech is not playing. Now Werner over Havertz. One reason of Havertz, match fitness, and then the second is Werner would be important because Crystal Palace and now might not have that low block that we'd expect because Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace had more rigid low blocks, and also the second line of defense for Roy Hodgson used to stay more back, creating the low blocks more thicker. But now we've seen Patrick Vieira's, he likes possession style gameplay. He likes to press, and the second line of defense in Patrick Vieira's gameplay is a little bit more higher. In fact, relatively more higher than what previous Roy Hodgson's second line of defense would be. So there would be a chance where you would see Werner would have some spaces to run it, and that's where Werner can capitalize. Also, Pulisic, knowing the fact that he can, dribble past players, and then maybe he could create good chances for Werner. I hope this works out this time. But yes, these are the three options that I'm going for.
Yeah, man. Live chat is saying the same thing. They can't see how Havertz can start. Declared saying that he could probably see Havertz start. Some are saying maybe Pulisic as a right wing back and Callum on the left. I mean, Taron, what's your front three, bro?
Yeah, there's no way Havertz can play this game. He was completely finished. Literally, he couldn't touch the ball, couldn't take a penalty, he couldn't run, he couldn't control anything. So, yeah, he cannot start this game. There will be no kind of physical, scientific kind of reason why to start this game. But, this game, you might think Timo Werner, Mount, Pulisic, it's not going to be a great trio. But if you think about the individual duels, if Crystal Palace are pressing us quite high, Cheku Kouyaté is not that quick, but Werner can get behind. It could be a good kind of positive to have there. Then we can kind of have Pulisic getting in there for the pass. And Joel Ward is a right back for Crystal Palace. He is the one that Pulisic has gotten the better of so many times. In the Lampard days, in Tuchel's game, we won 4-1, was it? Pulisic got the better of Ward so many times. So that could be a great one-on-one kind of battle. Guehi versus Mason Mount could be a really, really nice battle. Academy players, they play a lot in the academies. And Guehi could be playing left centre-back. And I think Mason Mount will be there to link up with Hudson-Odoi. There's no way Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi can be on the same wing again. How bad is that link up in the Villarreal game? Really, really poor. So Mason Mount will be on that side of Hudson-Odoi. And if you remember in the Crystal Palace game when we won 4-1, Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi were our link-up players in that game. They played amazingly. So you might
Yeah.
think it's quite a poor trio, but we could definitely make use of this, especially when their pressing is quite high. We have Kovacic to transition, drive with the ball as he usually does. Mason Mount to counter-press well, and the pace of Werner Pulisic. So, yeah, it could actually be quite a dark horse trio up front.
Yeah, man. I think this might be. I mean, some people are saying. Well, there was one who said that, Miz, why do you hate Werner? I don't hate Timo Werner. Like, you would know very much. Taron is a massive advocate in this channel. How much we back Timo Werner. I'm more talking about this preseason. Really hasn't looked that good for him, and I don't know whether he merits a start. But in this situation, it's by default that he merits a start because someone like Kai Havertz is simply not going to be able to. Well, I don't know whether he is going to be able to, but when we think about it deeply, 120 minutes, you think that he probably doesn't start. So that's why by default, Timo Werner gets an opportunity. And then with Ziyech being injured, someone like Pulisic gets an opportunity, and Mount has to be considered up front as well because we literally don't have any other players, and Mount becomes the creator. So we need him to be back. As much as Mount's probably not completely fit either, but he's one that he can gradually get back into it.
Go on, there's one more possibility. There's one more combination that Tuchel might envy. Maybe he could put Aspi in the right wing back position, maybe, or and in the right centre back position he could put a Zuma or a Chalobah, whoever is better fit there, and he can place a Hudson-Odoi on the left side instead of Pulisic, and then go with a Hudson-Odoi, Mount and Werner combination up top. So that is a possibility, and that also makes sense.
That could be a possibility as well, actually. Let's just quickly change. I mean, we're just doing an experiment here. Let's put Aspie. Aspie as a wingback has to run so much. That's what concerns me. I don't know whether he's got the legs to just run.
Especially with his fitness as well. He's just come back from the
exactly.
Euros as well.
Exactly. So let's say something
could see
like
Tino Andrin as well as an option. He's been rated a lot by Tuchel.
Yeah. Taron, do you see, as Ishan said, this could be a possibility? Do you perhaps see this being a bit of a possibility as well?
Yeah, I do. I think it not obviously. I expect definitely for him to go with Pulisic, Werner, Mount, but there is a possibility how well Hudson-Odoi played in the preseason against Arsenal, Spurs against Tottenham. Yeah, it could happen. I haven't seen him play there like in a competitive game since Spurs when we won 1-0 right at the start of the Tuchel era, and he was really, really bad in that game in that role. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to throw Aspi right wing back after his fitness concerns. So, yeah, I predict him to definitely go with Hudson-Odoi right wing back probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I think that this is more natural at the moment. As opposed to Callum being on that side, because I mean Callum can be, is just then who plays as a wing back. That's the issue, and then right now the fitness is the biggest concern as well. Shall we start Chalobah or is Aspi starting there? Or we were just
Chalobah,
not sure.
I think Chalobah,
yeah. He's another player that played 120 minutes as well, man. It's so tough, man. You know what? We do it this way. And when you think about it now, it sort of feels like, well, in terms of fitness, Zuma probably should get a mention. But look, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lineup that we've gone with. Honestly, this has probably been the most toughest lineup that we've had to put together because, one, the players have come back in staggered way. They've come back. Not all of them came back together. Some only came back about a week ago. And then we've played that 120 minutes against Villarreal as well. So it just throws everything out of proportion. The only two positions that we could probably say that we are guaranteed is Jorginho and Kovacic. All the other, and Rudiger probably. All the other ones are a bit of a toss-up.
Mendy as well.
And Mendy, yes. 100%. But yeah, this is the lineup, guys, that we've gone with. Let us know what your thoughts are. Mendy, Rudiger, Christensen, Chalobah, Alonso, Jorginho, Kovacic, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mount, Werner, Pulisic. Yeah, man. As I said, live chat, let us know. Just quickly from the boys. I'll go to you, Taron, first up. Score prediction, my man.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1. I think we will concede with all the fitness issues and everything. I think Zaha will probably get in there one stage. So I'm predicting us to concede. And you know how hopeful I'm usually. So you can tell I'm actually absolutely really worried for this game. So, yeah. But the goals, I think Timo Werner will score. I know that's probably crazy, but I feel like he will bounce back. He knows Lukaku's going to come. And I just have a feeling, like a gut feeling, that he will get a goal if he does start. And the other goal, I'm going to go with a header from Rudiger. I think set piece is going to be crucial. We're not going to score. We're not going to create many chances from open play with all the fitness issues with Crystal Palace's high pressing system. So I'm going to say a Rudiger header and what was I going to say? The Timo Werner goal.
The beautiful game is predicting 2-1 as well, like you, Taron. Ishan, what's your score prediction?
I think so. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough to score for both the sides. I'll go with a 1-0. I'll go with a 1-0 for Chelsea. It's going to be a tough game to score. Both the teams, we know what kind of dilemma Chelsea would be selecting the squad, and also it'll be difficult. It'll be difficult tactical wise as well. Patrick Vieira, yes, Thomas Tuchel knows him and would definitely wouldn't be a problem against him. But I think so. It's going to be difficult to score. I'm getting that feeling.
Yeah, man, I think it's going to be difficult. I said it in Matisse's channel the other day, or yesterday, that without Lukaku, obviously he's still in quarantine, he won't feature. Havertz, we've literally not put him in the lineup. He may come off the bench. It really limits our goal scoring, players. Ziyech injured as well, who scored in the Super Cup. This comment here from Emmanuel Dominguez, thank you so much for this comment, man. This is a good lineup with no possession. It's going to be 3-4-3 in possession. We'll go 4-2-3-1 with Cho pushing up as right wing. Yeah, this is exactly what we're thinking as well. I'm going with a 1-0 as well, man. I'm going with hopefully the crowd back in Stanford Bridge will lift us and we get a 1-0. Hopefully we can keep the defense strong. Yeah, man, this game is probably a bit too early for us straight after the Super Cup game. That's the issue. But hopefully we can squeeze out a 1-0. We do need to win these type of matches if we want to challenge for the title, which is going to be very, very important. And hopefully Margihi doesn't go away, leaving Chelsea, with any points. Hopefully we get full marks against him as well. And obviously Patrick Vieira in his first match as manager in Premier League. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this preview. Let us know your score prediction. I can see a lot of people saying 1-0 for us. Some are saying 0-0. Some are saying 2-1. It looks like it's going to be a tight game. Guys, make sure you smash the like button before you go. We still got over 200 people live. Smash the like button. Get the likes up to well over 200. You guys have been constant at the 200 mark, so you guys have been enjoying it. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. We are now on the way to 8,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and share this with many, many people out there. And also check out the boys and their socials in the description. Taron with his perfect hat-trick podcast. The link is there. Go out there and follow that. And Ishan's Instagram link is there as well. Go and follow as well. And please follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to build that particular platform too. So Miko saying, great stream, fellas. Come on, you Blues. Thank you so much, my man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a very, very good day. Until next time. See ya.